3 times in my life I have revolutionized my life, changing my job drastically. I'm also one for taking on projects. So I built myself an office out of pallets. I learned to ride a motorbike at 34. I bought a house and did it up in 6 weeks and rented it out. So I'm quite known for taking on crazy projects. So I was having a conversation with somebody this week, and they were asking me about the mindset behind, you know, being able to step out of your comfort zone and being able to make a decision and step away from something that you don't feel that's right for you and step into something new. And if there was anything from my experience that I could share that could really help with doing that. So I sat and I thought about it, and I came up with 5 things which I think are key or really important, or the way that I particularly perceive something or have a mindset about something, which I thought were really quite useful for them. And then I thought that would make a really good AMA video. So I'm going to share with you in today's video those 5 things that I think are really important and key, or particularly the way that I do something, prepare myself to do those sorts of things. So background then, for those that don't know, when I left university, I started working for Marriott International. I ended up being the restaurant manager. So I had 27 members of staff managing a 150-seater restaurant. And I was also the training officer for the hotel towards the end as well. So towards the end, I would be doing a training course 9 till 5. And then at 6 o'clock, I'd be in the restaurant for evening service. I might finish sort of 12, half 12. I'd been doing that for a few years. I was in a long-term relationship with my boyfriend that we'd been together for 9 years. I had a house. It was in Huntingdon near Cambridge. And that was the first time that I revolutionized my life. We ended the relationship. I quit the house, quit the job. And I distinctly remember driving up the M6 with all of my worldly belongings packed in a car and moving back in with my mum and dad. The next time that I revolutionized my life, fast forward a few years, I was working for O2 as a learning and development consultant. I had a particular specialism in e-learning. And again, I've been doing that for quite a few years. And I decided to leave and set up my business, Refresh Minds, and I set that up with £750. And at the time, people were saying that I should wait for redundancy, or that I was crazy or brave, or all these kinds of things. It felt like the right time and the right thing to do. So that was the second time. And the last time was just before the pandemic. So March 2020, I set up Build It Brilliant, bringing together my knowledge from e-learning and as a therapist into helping other people in the helping professions to take their businesses online. I've been doing that for the last year. And as well as the many other projects, kind of what have I learned over that time about taking these leaps of faith or doing these things, and or what is it about my mindset that helps me and enables me to be able to take those leaps of faith? So the first one is having nothing. Like, I don't fear having nothing. So if everything, I think it was probably back in the Marriott days, at some point I thought, do you know what, if I leave all of this and I literally have nothing, then, you know, I still have friends, I still have family, and I still have that place to go. And I realized that I'm not a materialistic person. I don't place value in materialistic things. So go forwards to now, I have more assets, I have more things, but I don't fear losing them, because I think if I lost them all, then, you know, I have a wonderful group of friends and a wonderful family, and, you know, I'd end up sleeping on somebody's sofa, but I'd be okay with that, and I'd just rebuild my life, and who knows, that rebuild might, or probably will be better than what I had before. So I have no fear over having nothing, of you know, being that. And to me, I would never have nothing, because I would have friends and have family, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. So, you know, everything else above that is a bonus. The next mindset one is is an interesting one. I see all human beings as equals. So I know quite a few people get overfaced when they're asked to do something, but I don't mind delivering a workshop or chatting to people or you know, being involved in things, even if I feel that that is above me, if that is the people in the room have achieved more than me. Like, it doesn't matter to me, because they are just human, like everyone else is human. And all humans want the same things. They want to feel purposeful. They want to feel valued. They want to feel love and connection. So, you know, I don't care that they have a little bit more money in the bank or that they have achieved certain things. I just think, well, they're just another human being, just like me. So I think that enables me to talk to people, to ask questions, to say yes to things, and to not stress too much about those things. So when I'm walking into a room and I'm going to give a talk of some sort, I just see it as a room of people just like me, equal to me. Nobody's any better than me. Nobody knows more than me. We just know different things and have different experiences. And that means that I can enter into a relationship of connection and sharing, rather than thinking, oh God, I'm going to put this video out and people are going to hate me or judge me or better than me or all those kinds of things. So I have this true value that I see all human beings as equal, just human. And I think that's really helped me along the way to make some decisions, because it frees me of the pressure and the stress that comes with that. The third one is I really don't think about these things too much. I think the more that you think about these decisions, the more you realize there's a mountain to climb, or all the steps that are in place. The more you procrastinate, the more you don't do them. So if we take the building of the studio office, for example, we were having a barbecue, the wine and the beer were flowing. I used shared office space at the time. I was talking about how it frustrates me because I have to pack up all my gear and then the next session reset up all my gear, and it was getting a bit frustrating, and how it would be great if I had my own office space. And then we started talking about how and where, and came up with the whole, you know, palette idea. And then it was, where would we get the palettes from? What would it look like? You know, and before we'd finished the barbecue, it was all set up and we were starting on Tuesday. So I really don't, and I even think, like, way back to the O2 decision and leaving the O2 decision, I really didn't think about all the things that it takes to set up a business, because call it naivety if you like, but I think all of that information is just too much and it makes you not want to make the choice. So I do connect more with my heart and my instincts. Something inside me said that that's what I should be doing. And I had a real connection with making that move. So I just made it. And I think that relates to my next point, which is I do believe in whatever you want to call it, whether that be universal energy or, you know, mindset of visualization, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I do genuinely believe that. People say I have a sunny disposition. I don't. I have a mindset that I've worked on for years, that everything will work out in the end. Whenever I've made these tough decisions, yes, it's been tough. Yes, it has genuinely been the hardest thing that I've ever done. But it all works out in the wash. It all works out in the end. And I'm a true believer that it will work out in the end. You know, this element of no matter what happens, it'll be for the right reasons, and you will learn so much from it, and everything will come together okay. And I believe that the right people will be involved in projects. I believe that if I put something out there, then the right people will connect with that. And yes, that means that sometimes I've put things together and I put a workshop together and like 2 people have turned up, things like that. But I just have this genuine deep down belief that keep going and you'll get there and it will work out in the end. So I think that supports me in making those choices, because I just believe that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be fine. The kind of universe has got my back in some way, shape or form. And that helps with the overthinking as well, I think, because I just sit there and say, okay, this is going to be an adventure. It's going to be a project. It's going to be interesting. It'll all be worth it, or it'll turn out well in the end. And then the last one is I have daily things that I do that promote my parasympathetic nervous system. So when I was releasing my book, which I wrote this year, it got released in April, there was lots of fear going on. So I recognize what my body does when I'm in that fight or flight response. I was feeling quite jittery, quite unsettled. I was feeling quite fearful, apprehensive, all these kinds of things. So I have lots of things in my toolkit that promote my parasympathetic nervous system. And if I'm going to go and take on a project, then I up the amount of those things that I do. So I alternate between yoga and running in the morning. So I'm either yogaing or I'm out running. I have a mindset of mindfulness. So I try and stay in the moment as much as I can, not anticipate in the future, not relying on the past, but being here in the present. I love barefoot walking, getting my shoes and socks off and going for a walk around the local park, whether it's doing self-hypnosis and anything that's going to relax my system, turn off that fight or flight and get me back to rest and digest. And I do that throughout the day. So I might take a few deep breaths. I use affirmations quite a lot. So I'm reading those and reinforcing my mindset. I do loads of stuff throughout the day in order to make sure that I'm resettling my system. And that tells me that I can do these fearful or scary things, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do them. It means that that's excitement and that you should be doing it. You just need to manage the levels of excitement that you feel. So those are the 5 things that I think really support me in making these choices and going forth and stepping out of my comfort zone. So the first one is I don't fear having nothing. It doesn't matter. And I have a wonderful support network around me. So no matter what happens, they will be there, and I will have a roof over my head and get fed, even if it's somebody else's house. The second one is I see all humans as equal and just the same as me. Third one is I don't overthink. I don't really think too much about these things. I go with more, I tap into more my gut feeling and my heart energy and just kind of, make the decisions that I know are right for me and don't really overthink it. The fourth one, I have a mindset of supported by the universal energy in some way, whatever language you want to call it, doesn't really matter, but this feeling that it'll all work out in the end and everything will turn good eventually, and just kind of crack on and keep going. And the last one around making sure that you have daily activities that enable you to resettle your system down again and again and again and again throughout the day. So I hope that has helped, and I hope you found this video useful, and best wishes on your own stepping out, no matter whether where that is or what that is, whether that's doing your own first live video or whether it's creating a course or whether it's quitting a job and setting up, no matter what it is. I hope you can take something from that, and it'll help you to go forwards.